Hello, hello. Barely in time, barely in time. Still 16:15. So I guess we have to be proud about being right on time. How are my beloved traders doing today? How are we doing today? I would like to know what the vibe is. Yeah, a little bit in a hurry here in the in the session open. But hey, no worries, no worries. We got here. I did some pre-market prep already a little bit ahead, but of course I'm gonna do it on stream like always. But I always prep for my own session before. Before we go, I'll have a look here. All right. So the name of the game today is pre-market prep, and we'll start with that, and we'll take a little look here on what type of market we have. Where do I have my pen tool? Here it is, hidden on the other monitor. I'll take my calculator here on my phone just in a second. So you wait for a little while. Okay, we're ready to start prep now. So, as you can see, yesterday's session had quite some volatility, and this is something you would call a double distribution profile. It's not as clear than it should be maybe, but you know, double distribution means that this area here got passed very fast. So what I'm expecting is this area will act as a magnet of some sort, and price will want to come here into this specific area. I have to open my chat because I got a message. Jossel, would you like many viewers? Let's make you popular. Of course, make me popular. Make me popular, mister. But I won't click on any links. Alright. So this is gonna be a magnet level here, right? For this session. And I think it's very possible that we get a move up. Then how does it happen? I think there's two scenarios. Either we open down, we reject the overnight low or the overnight value. Either or. Reject. Up. Close the gap, which is here. And then we take the singles. And then after that, we reject back to value. I think this is a very basic thing that could happen, and we could find like a balance day around these areas. Another thing that could happen is we open up, we take these, singles, and we reject this area here. We reject down, reject overnight value, and start falling down. I think if we are gonna have a down trade, day, or like a downtrend day, this is the possibility. And I can see a world where it happens, because you have to remember we rejected this value above here once. So this could be now the case where we just run off to the downside. But the session will tell. But two trades you could make. You could take one short from these overnight highs where the single prints are, or you could look for a long outside of the value here, or outside of the overnight low, or some other level that could be below, back into value. Those two scenarios are quite possible in my professional opinion. YM is gapping quite hard down. The YM trade is off limits for me specifically. The gap is too big. We are already gapping down quite hard here. But a monster trade would be something like this, obviously. This would be a monster trade on YM. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. I think another possibility is that we open up and reject and start falling down. That's my scenario one. Open up, reject, start falling down, or open down, find buyers, and reject, and do some type of balance day move here in the middle. But yeah, no trade on YM. We do have a overnight high, which is a 4 high. So this is a magnet as well. So we do have magnets above as well. But the thing is, we are gapping down so hard that I'm not sure if we are bullish enough to take this whole move. It's possible that would be my third scenario, but yeah, very unlikely in my opinion. But remember, anything is possible, and sometimes the market likes to have those days where it corrects everything at once, even if it's gonna be a huge move. And we do have some volatility in the market, so it's still fairly possible. Let's look at RTY. RTY, kind of the similar story here. We are slightly gapping down, but nothing specifically bad. I would maybe expect open below value and into the single prints we go, and then we make some type of balance day here around singles. I think that's fairly possible. Or we open up, close the gap, maybe touch the singles a little bit, and then we start falling down and rejecting into lower prices. I think this is fairly possible. But yeah, the only market I'm really looking at to trade today is the one and only ES. But that totally depends on the size of the gap. Size of the gap and what type of setup we can get here. There could also be a world where we would have to decrease our size a little bit if the volatility is high. I already had a look here for news, so there shouldn't really be anything big today, but I'll still have a look. We have 7 minutes time. You can even pull it here on the screen so we can have a look. So at 17, so 30 minutes after the open, we have factory orders and housing market index. So nothing very major, but still could have an effect on the market. So good to remember that 17, 30 minutes after the open. So that would be 10 o'clock in the New York time zone, I believe. So good to remember. We have some Fed speeches. We have the monthly budget later on in the session as well. It's very good because everyone's trading a different time zone, I believe. If you're not from the US, then you're on the standard one. But yeah, I trade from Finland, so don't look at my times. Go to TradingView Economic Calendar or Forex Factory or whatever site you like to check for news. And get your info from there, because it is valuable. It is valuable to know when the news are. Obviously, tomorrow, building permits, FOMC minutes, and then Thursday and Friday, big news as well. We have NFP as well coming later in the week. So a very busy week news-wise. So do not break risk and save your bullets to that volatility, because there could be some good moves on the way, some good rotations to catch. Good rotations to catch. Good rotations. I'm looking for something specific here in my trading journal I want to check before this session opens. I would love to get that information down. We'll see here if I can find the specific document. The open is in 4 minutes, so we still have some time here. Am I on the right account, or why can't I find my statistics? Give me my statistical edges, please. Alright, well, I'll search for it after the session. I guess I have to do some backtesting again because I have a specific scenario in mind. I'm not gonna say it on stream, but I know I've done the backtest. I know I've done my homework on that statistical play, but I can't remember it anymore. And I know I have it somewhere, but God knows where. I'll see if I can find it from another one. Apparently there was some issues with Cloudflare today as well. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but Twitter and some other platforms had some issues. I also posted my pre-market prep on Instagram for the first time in my life. So if you want to go and have a closer look, you can always look at the Instagram post if you want. All right, 1 minute left, and then we are full focus. Right now, a little bit distracted because I'm still trying to find the stat, but hey, I suppose not. Sometimes that's how it goes. All right, well, the market opens in 30 seconds, so now I have to be full focus if I want to get some good trades in here. The only market we are looking for is ES. That's the most probability, and ES only in a specific scenario. If we move down in ES and get a nice buy level, this could be a play. It could be a humongous play if the ATR and volatility is still here, but I'll have to see if we get some volatility. The market opens here, and let's see where it opens. We get an open to the upside. That kinda would invalidate my play if we make a big move upside. We'll see. What I'm looking for here is a rejection to the downside. And I'm out of drink. What I was looking for was something like this. But I suppose we open up In YM we have a run of the overnight low. But I'm not allowed to take this YM play specifically. However, if you look at this move to the downside, it was quite clean. Quite clean stop run. But it didn't turn yet. That's why it's very important to wait for the momentum to actually turn and not enter on this candle here. Because, you know, you would have gotten stopped out. You have to be patient. Let's have a look on RTY. RTY, RTY. RTY has a standard opening just as ES has. Russell has really produced some good trades lately. My favorite market ES has not given me a trade in a while, whereas Russell gave me 2 clean trades in a row. ES getting some type of rejection here to the downside. Now very interesting to see this overnight low and how that would end up. Let's look at this gap size as well. I want to see. We have a 38-point gap. 38-point gap. What a nice reaction from ES. It could be that it doesn't even go to my level. It just runs up straight from here. I do expect to see some type of reaction here up at these levels, because we do have some single prints at the overnight highs, and these singles could really give a nice reaction to the downside. What I do believe is that we are gonna move past these singles back. That's the highest probability, I think, specifically. And then we're gonna find a balance day. But here we see ES just running to the upside. Running to the upside. Have a look on. So far, so good. YM gives a clean reaction at 131. RTY closed the gap out of the open, and you can see it just pretty much instantly went there. Pretty much instantly went there. Yes, still not closing the gap here. ATR is quite high, 7. My dog is here as well. Good girl, good girl. She's a good girl. Oh yeah, she's such a good girl. She is, yes. All right, yes, rejecting at VWAP here. Let's see if it can find a bounce. Something like this. Or another scenario I can see here is that we do this, and then either we go here or we fall back. I do think that the upside move is very possible here on both of these markets, YM and ES. Still seeing a lot of upside on both markets overall, but we have to remember our plan, and we are still suspecting that we could find a downwards move from the levels above, but not from here yet. We were expecting a move up and a short around these areas or these areas, but here between these levels there's nothing to do. Between these two levels there's nothing to do for me. It feels like it's just there's no proper structure around these two levels. Like, you have to find a trade outside of these levels. But we'll see what happens here. These levels are a magnet here. We have a triple magnet above RTY, another leg up. YM finding buyers. Well, pretty much nothing to do. I'm pretty sure today is gonna be an empty day. There's really no setup here today. From the looks of things, we didn't get the open we wanted. We wanted to see an open down and then reject. But right now, we kinda got that. We got a move down, but it wasn't big enough. I wanted to see some stop ran. The low volume is also quite low. Quite low here. I do think there's a much higher possibility that we have a balanced day today as well. Why? Well, we have a lot of news tomorrow, on Thursday, on Friday, so we'll see. Also, tomorrow I'm going to the dentist, so you know. I'm going to the dentist. It's in the morning, but if there's like anything, you know, operations or something they have to do, and if my mouth is still swollen after that, then I might have to skip the streaming part and I'll just be trading offline. Nothing stops me from trading, but if I can't talk, it doesn't really make sense to be on stream. But we'll see. It depends totally what they are doing there in the dentist. But so you know, if my stream is not scheduled tomorrow, what would I say, like an hour before I would normally go live, then you know that I'm not gonna be live on that specific day. Just because then I probably had some type of thing happen in the dentist, and then I probably have my mouth swollen. Procedure is the name. That's what I was ordered, the word. But yeah, this looks like a session without a trade. We'll see if we can go to the overnight lows here. It would have to be a very clean reaction here at these levels if I was to take a trade. Volatility is for sure here, and we did open inside of the previous day's range. Or did we? No, we did not. Well, that just means that the trade is not something I would take anyways. The probability goes down quite a lot when it's outside of the previous day's range. I do unfortunately not have anything specific planned for today's stream either. No exercises, nothing like that. Is there something you guys would want to see or learn? And I'll be all ears. Just let me know in chat. Yeah. Smells like balance, looks like balance, tastes like balance. And that was what we said. A very possible balance day today. Did not quite get the opening prep move that I was planning for either. So now the play is invalidated. We also opened just below the previous day's range, which invalidates my trade. All of the markets are pretty much gapping, where Russell was the strongest, and Russell actually went and took the gap close already. And now it's looking like it wants to move into these singles. YM following suit, and yes, might do the same. ES consolidating here at VWAP and is showing some strength here. Huge delta shift. You see a lot of selling, and then we just get a rotation with 480 positive delta and no resistance at all. We just get a huge rotation, and the rotation to delta ratio is quite high, which indicates that the buyers are in a quite good position overall. Well, I'm very positive that the play is over. There is no trade for me specifically today. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. If you have any questions or anything else to say in chat, let me know right now. Otherwise, this stream will be a bit short. There is no play, no trade, because we opened outside of the previous day's range and we are gapping down. So we kind of got scenario 2 in a way, but it's quite different to that because we wanted it to go much higher, but we kind of got the same reaction here already. And if we just go from here anyways, our scenario is gonna play out, or scenario 1, but we didn't account for something like this in our scenario 2. This is just pure balance and balance out of the open. We didn't even test value up here. Like, we didn't even go here and test the magnets. We started rejecting at ETH VWAP. So, really not playing out as we predicted. So it's much better to not take a trade in a scenario where the market is not doing what you're expecting it to do. We could 100% also just do something like this. But I'm not putting my money on something that I haven't planned for or seen pre-market. It's much better to not trade if your plan doesn't play out perfectly. If you make a plan pre-market and you trust that plan and that plan plays out, it's very easy to trade that plan because you know exactly what you're going to do everywhere. But when you get into a situation where you make 2 plans or 3 plans and not one of these plans play out, it's some type of different combination of price action, don't take the trade. Like, you're not gonna know where to take the trade. You're already thinking about things that are unknown in your head. You are not prepared, you know? I'm not gonna go to war where I haven't prepared for my enemy. And I haven't prepared for this specific enemy, you know? I need to prepare for the enemy. And I haven't prepared to this day's enemy because my pre-market plan was wrong. And that happens many times a week. You know, I'm not always correct. I can't predict the future perfectly. And here a perfect example of me having 2 scenarios for today, and it looks like neither of these will play out. And we just got kinda a open up to ETH VWAP and then started balancing around at that area. No play here today. So we're gonna keep it at 0 trades. I think the only market that played accordingly... No, there's no market that played accordingly. Yeah, no market played accordingly. Alright, let's put to our full face cam here. Alright, here we are. Live in stereo. Right in front of our crowd with 0 trades. But hey, no problem. We are quite a lot up on the week already from Monday. We had a great session. Got 2 winning trades out of the get-go. Monday, historically, my worst day. But hey, I'll take a win on Monday. I'll take 2 wins on a Monday. Well, I love a great Monday. And, you know, sometimes the day doesn't really matter. Yesterday's setup going into that session was just perfect. And that's kind of the how would I say it? That's the opposite of what happened today. You know, Monday everything was planned out, everything was clear, and every market gave me a move exactly as I planned pre-market. But today, I didn't get that. I planned and nothing happened, or nothing that I planned happened. So, and you see the results. I made money on Monday. If I traded this price action, there's a high probability I would lose. High probability I would lose money. So I'll just keep my hands up in the air and say, hey, I'm not trading today. It's better to give up than, get, I don't know, dead or something, I'm not sure what analogy I should use there. But rather, give up than lose a lot of money. Of course, protect your account on a day where you're unsure about what's going to happen. And that's a huge difference between someone who's doing this for a living versus someone who's uh, trading just for fun or dopamine. People who trade for dopamine or fun, they don't understand that they can't trade every day. There has to be days where you're not in place with your edge. It's just impossible to get trades every day. There can't be opportunity every day for everyone because everyone's a different trader. So for me specifically, no edge today. Hands up in the air. Good stream. Arigato. And yeah. But hey, if someone has anything to say, or now's the pretty much last second of this stream where you can ask a question or anything regarding my trading. But for me, it's over. There's no setup to be taken here. If not, and it looks like there is no questions, then I need to say thank you for watching. Justle is out, and see you next time. Bye, guys. Very big Justle muscle and Justle Russell. Remember that. I'm sorry for that. That was a little bit cringe, but bye bye.